Episode 2 of House of the Dragon has certainly set things into motion, with some of the choices being made being rather concerning. As after the first episode, it's not taken them very long at all to get right into the incest and also the subject of marrying children. Just before the episode began, I was wondering whether or not we'd get a new intro, and we did get a new intro with them showing the Targaryen family tree and bloodline in a very bloody way. I expect to see this one evolve like the Game of Thrones intro, though I do feel like this one is not as visually appealing, but it does the job. I would have also liked to see a new theme for the show, but it's difficult to really complain about them using the Game of Thrones theme again because it's such epic music to help warm you up for the episode. House of the Dragon continues in the same breath of last week, that it uses its time very wisely, and the quality of writing is to a high standard again. With episode 2, the familiar element of betrayal comes into play in main scenarios. Daemon has gone rogue and now resides in Dragonstone, and we find out that he's stolen a dragon egg. This leads to a confrontation between himself and Otto on the bridge, which is my favourite scene of the show so far, as firstly it's visually stunning, we also had some great back and forths, and also having the two dragons on full show with Caraxes making himself known and Rhaenyra arriving through the clouds and Syrax. I thought it was just awesome to see. On the subject of Rhaenyra, after the first episode I saw a few online discussions suggesting that she and Alicent were emitting romantic vibes, and it turns out that Millie Alcock and Emily Carey were actually told to get that across, as they wanted to toe the line between platonic and romantic in a way to show their closeness as two teenage girls in a very male heavy environment. And of course, as we see with the revelation of Viserys choosing to marry Alicent, this bond will be severely tested as Rhaenyra will have to accept her bestie shacking up with her father. This decision by King Viserys was huge for him personally, as the 3 years difference between marrying a 12-year-old and marrying a 15-year-old could be crucial, as his long-term health is not guaranteed. With everything that's happened and is going on, Viserys is coming across as a very lost individual, with his family crumbling, his health under question, and his alliances full of doubt. With that being said, it'll be interesting to see how long this character lasts, because of course he's also a king at the start of the Game of Thrones series, which doesn't really bode well. Someone who does have the king in his bad books is Lord Corlys Velaryon. Aggrieved with the choice of rejecting his daughter, he connects with Daemon, who's also a fellow second son, as we start to see the plotting that made Game of Thrones so absorbing. And my goodness, did Otto look like one smug bastard as he's found out that the king chose his daughter. And it already feels like he's this show's Littlefinger, but we'll have to see how long he lasts compared to him, but I've got to say I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more from this character. With the conclusion of the episode, it looks like next week we'll get some crab versus dragon warfare as we learn more about the mysterious crab feeder. Now, as you've seen the trailers, we'll be jumping further ahead in time in the upcoming episodes, and it'd be sad to see certain actors replaced, as I think everyone has been great so far, but I'm excited also to see how these characters develop into their older versions. But in regards to this one, this was another impressive episode for me, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and also your favourite part of episode 2. And on screen right now is our reaction video to the first episode of House of the Dragon, as well as our ranking video for the top 5 movies of the year so far.